Okay, just took delivery of a new project. No, it is not a Husqvarna chainsaw, brand new in the box. That wouldn't be much of a project at all. That would just be getting a brand new chainsaw out the box, starting it up and running it in. No, this is a project, an old engine, as always. Do tend not to buy anything new. It's not a chainsaw either, so yeah. Anyway, sorry, bubble wrap and reveal what we got. There's our first little glimpse of it. It's not a Suffolk engine. Here's a Briggs and Stratton. No idea what model it is. The pictures of it were in really poor lighting, so yeah, I have no idea what model it is at all. But it's had a few modifications over the years. Somebody else has obviously twigged that Suffolk engines are basically identical. It's got half of a Suffolk carb on it here, and also the old-fashioned rectangle Suffolk petrol tank. Well, there we have it. It's a Briggs and Stratton Model 5S. Had no idea what model it was. You couldn't even really see the engine in the pictures, it was really dark. I had no idea it had this bizarre clutch arrangement on the back, which is actually free and working. To an extent anyway. It's a bit stiff at the moment, but we should be able to do something with that. It's a bizarre setup. But anyway, there we go. It's a Model 5S. It's got all its serial number and everything, which is nice. Valve clearances, all sorts. I guess we'll try and put a plea out for the original carburetor for it, which I guess would be one with the fuel tank mounted underneath it, like the old 60s ones, but they were a little bit different in design and had an oil bath filter sitting on top. It would be nice to get one of those. Some original paint. Don't know what it'd clean up like. It's a bit dented around here where this old Suffolk fuel tank has been mangled onto it. But we have got the original decal. Amazingly, what's left of it. So yeah, we'll see what the rest of it cleans up like. I mean, there's not much chance of seeing any more paint around this side. It is caked in oil, mud, all sorts of rubbish. I guess it probably came off of a rotarator or something. But we've got some original paint around this side. All desperately needs a clean up. But rather miraculously, despite its shoddy condition, we do have a good coil. So we've got the basis of a running engine there. It turns over. No real nasty knocks, probably just the old air vane governor flapping around in there because it's not connected. But yeah, fortunately the old spark plug had a bit of an accident in the box, and the exhaust, well, that was definitely no good. Yep, that's definitely one for the bin. But yeah, we'll start removing a couple of bits off of it now and see where we go. Looks like it's had some new bolts put in here, and the original bolts for the cowling, which used to be these screws, have been put up here for some reason. Anyway, yeah. So definitely got the basis of a nice project there. Don't know what we'll do to it, if we'll paint it. Depends how well it shines up and how much of that original decal shows. It's had a hole drilled through it as well, so that's a little bit of a downside again. But yeah, anyway, got a good coil. It turns over, has this bizarre and fascinating clutch on the back. All stuff to keep us amused. Yeah, should be a good one. Alright, we're going to start to tear it apart now. I'm going to take that cowling off and see what's what behind there. Well, the old Briggs and Stratton's coming apart fairly easily. Not putting up a fight at all. There goes the flywheel key. Just fell into that box somewhere. And there it is. Looks like a decent key as well. Right. Yeah, not looking too bad. Not looking bad at all. Definitely an oldie, that coil. Thankfully the HT lead hasn't been soldered on at all, so that'd be easy to replace. But yeah, so far it's not putting up a fight. Okay, we're about to take our first look under the cylinder head. Which is revealing a pretty clean and tidy engine, really. It's not looking too bad in there at all. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Pretty good. Everything looks really nice and clean under this points cover. Even the points aren't that badly corroded. Probably would have got a spark out of this one. Yeah, not bad. I think everything under there will probably be usable. Or even give the condenser a go. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Real good. Just got to trace all our wiring now. Doesn't look like it has any external wires like the WMB does. It has a sort of wire on the side of the ignition backplate, but this one doesn't seem to have it. I'm guessing that was originally probably a stop switch of some sort that's obviously gone walkies. But yeah, everything else looks really good. Let's take a couple more bits out of there now. Alright, well, the old Briggs and Stratton 5S is coming apart pretty easily. We've pressure washed it to get most of the gunk off. There's still some stubborn bits on there. The washer just came out. And yeah, it's revealed quite a lot of original paint. Also had a little look-see at cleaning up the old Briggs and Stratton sticker, which has come up alright as well. And the cowling should come up with some paint on it as well, so I think we're going to leave this one original. It's never been painted up, so no sense in painting it now. We'll just leave it as it is. Yeah, internally it looks fine. The clutch came off without any hassle. I can't get the actual casting off here, but that's okay, it's no big deal. It's probably best to leave that in the position where it is, because the clutch will be set properly. So yeah, the washer just came off of that. No big deal. We know exactly where it is. Right, so we're going to loosen up the connecting rod bolts now and slide the piston out. It's all looking really nice and clean. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Okay, well, the Briggs and Stratton 5S is pretty much all apart now. The piston and connecting rod are out, the crankshaft is out, and the ignition backplate is off. All we've got to do now is remove the valves, but before we do that, we've got this stubborn, broken off exhaust to sort out. And it's going to be a little bit of a bugger, because it is seized in there, it's stuck in there good. We're going to have to try and cut it as close to the block as possible, and then we're going to have to cut a slit down to the threads and use a screwdriver and a hammer to crush what's left of the exhaust in on itself, and then it should come out the block leaving nice intact threads. That's the plan anyway, that's what we hope will happen. We've just got to see if that's the case. Okay, we cut our slit in the old exhaust right down to the threads. As you can see, we've just started to cave it in now, and it's starting to come loose. It's not looking too bad. This is a thick old bit of pipe though. This is not what I'm used to doing this on. Usually you get quite thin metal and it just goes really easy, but this is obviously the engine's original exhaust, and it's proving to be a bit of a bugger. But we'll get there eventually. Hopefully then we should have some nice threads to screw our new exhaust into. Okay, well, it took 2 slits in the exhaust pipe to get it to crush enough to a point where it threads out. There's the old bit of exhaust, leaving behind some decent enough threads to put a new exhaust in. It's not too bad at all. Those actually look rather good. We'll give it a test now, see if the exhaust threads in. Oh, well, there you go. The exhaust threads in. Looks good. It's actually the one I brought for the WMB. They're quite expensive, these exhausts, reproductions, so the 2 edges will just have to share it in between each other, and if we want to run both together we'll just have to put different exhaust on this one, but it'd be no big deal. But anyway, at least we can now put an exhaust on this engine, so we can now get the rocker cover off and start removing the valves. Yeah, not bad, it's looking good, it's looking alright. Okay, well, it's now a bare block by the camshaft, which we can't get out because we can't get that off, and I don't really want to take that off anyway, and the camshaft is nice and clean and fine, so there's no problems there. Valves are out. Yeah, we've got some grinding to be done on the exhaust valve. The exhaust valve itself isn't too bad, but the seat in the block is a little rusty. Yeah, but other than that, the engine came apart without too much of a fight. Actually, nothing put up a fight until we got to the valves. Those did put up a fight, but they're off now. Right, well, that's it. I shall upload this and we'll start cleaning it up and putting it back together.